Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's Slayer Sunday, where I will be talking about and reviewing all the episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in order. Today I'm looking at Season 2, Episode 19, I Only Have Eyes for You. We begin the episode in the Bronze with this lady sporting Courtney Cox in Scream 3 bangs, and holy hell, the show's assault on knitwear continues. Buffy and her shiny pants are approached by some guy in a shirt that I kinda low-key love. This is Ben, and he asks her to ask him to the Sadie Hawkins dance the following night, but she gently lets him down, saying she's not planning on dating ever again. Willow cites her concerns that Buffy isn't having any fun lately and encourages her to at least try to date, but she says she's not ready. Willow says she gets things went badly with Angel, but love is still nice. And we smash cut to a couple having a seriously dramatic argument in the school halls. When the woman says she doesn't love him, the guy pulls out a gun.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And into the credits we go. Buffy, who is at the school all of a sudden, tackles the guy who is confused as to what happened, and his girlfriend backs him up, saying they weren't even fighting a few minutes ago. To make things even weirder, the school janitor points out that the gun has vanished. The next day, Buffy is dragged into Snyder's office and he yells at her for what happened. Hey dude, maybe if you don't want shit to happen around here, then lock the fucking school at night! Snyder is called away to deal with something, and as Buffy waits, an invisible presence pulls a yearbook off this horrifically ordered shelf. Wait, invisible presence? Is Marcy Ross dicking around again? Willow finishes teaching her computer class. And not only is she wearing all the 60s trends in one shirt, she also seems to have given 4 people detention. Are students allowed to do that? Giles checks on her and Willow says she's interested in the magic stuff she's found on Jenny's computer, which will develop over the show's run, and she gifts him a rose quartz necklace she found in Jenny's belongings, which Giles accepts as a melody called Remembering Jenny plays.
That's very thoughtful of you.
Buffy, meanwhile, is so bored in class that she falls asleep and dreams of the 50s. Where she witnesses a small scene between this student James and this teacher Grace. Oh boy, what a place to pause. Hey, guess what? I was in an episode of Buffy. The lower half of my face blocked almost the entire screen. Anyway, Buffy wakes up in class only for the teacher to have unknowingly written, "Don't walk away from me, bitch," on the board. Buffy tells Xander, but holy crap, this dress is not only barely covering anything, but there's also a slit up the front. Geez, Buffy, you might as well walk around with your vagina out. Xander shrugs off Buffy's concerns until he opens his locker and a monster arm grabs him. Wait, did Xander set up this weird hanging, or did the monster do it? They report their findings to Willow and Giles, who establish it as a ghost, and the only way to make it go away is to find out who it is and what it wants. That night, this teacher working late passes the janitor from before, and everything is normal until they suddenly get into the same argument the couple did the previous night. A gun materializes in the janitor's hand, and Giles hears both the argument and strange whispers. Thinking it's Jenny, he goes out into the hall, only to witness the janitor shoot and kill the teacher. Although her shadow looks like she has pointy boobs. The janitor makes a run for it, and as Giles tackles him, the gun vanishes. Just like the couple, the janitor has no recollection of what just happened. Giles tells the others the ghost must be Jenny, but maybe it's the spirit of ugly, oversized knitwear. Did nice jumpers not exist in the late 90s? Willow and Buffy doubt it's Jenny, but Giles won't hear of it. The three go off to do research, determined to disprove Giles' theory, and uncover a story of a student-teacher romance from the 50s that went horribly wrong and ended in a murder-suicide, which is horrifically tragic. But you know me, I've got to point some stuff out. Buffy mentions that the Sadie Hawkins dance is tonight, but wrong. That was last night, because Ben mentions at the beginning that it's tomorrow night, which would have been last night when the janitor shot the teacher, so no Buffy, sorry, you've missed it. The other thing I need to point out is that Surprise and Innocence take place on Buffy's birthday, which is in January, and the magic shop owner in Passion mentions it's around Valentine's Day, which would have put that in February, which tracks. But now, this episode is the Sadie Hawkins dance, which takes place in November, so what the hell happened to the rest of the year? Angel's only just got a new place after the factory burned down. Spike is still sporting his injuries he got before Buffy's birthday, and Willow is still subbing for Jenny, so it's bullshit that 10 months have passed. Anyway, Buffy pulls out the yearbook that fell earlier and tells the others about her dream. Willow says she feels bad for them, but Buffy says fuck that guy and they need to kick his ghost in the dick. At lunch, Cordelia is bitching about the dance when everyone's food turns into snakes. Except for the apples. They're cool. Cordelia gets bitten and everyone flees the school. Except for this guy who seems in an awful rush to get into the snake-infested building. Snyder talks to the chief of police again and they concoct a story about the sewer backing up. And Snyder straight up says about the Hellmouths, so shit just got interesting. Willow says they need a new plan and Xander suggests they nuke the school. But hold your horses, buddy, that's going to have to wait for next season. Willow explains that the three of them need to form a triangle with Buffy in the middle to bind to the ghost, so they head to the school where all the doors slam around them. Let's check in briefly with the vamps where Drusilla gets a vision and Angel decides now is the time to go out and kill Buffy. That's the only important part of this whole scene. Well, that and Angel sticks his face by Drew's vagina. Buffy approaches the hotspot and finds a poster for the dance while the song I Only Have Eyes for You plays. And she sees the ghosts of the two lovers dancing. Fuck me, what is that? Cordelia's face gets distorted and Willow is pulled into the floor, so she screams for Giles, who rushes to save her. Buffy gets a vision of Grace's murder and James's suicide before James screams at her to get out! Willow tells Giles that Jenny wouldn't be that mean, and Giles comes to the realization that she's right. It hits midnight, so everyone lights their candles and says the spell, but James doesn't want to turn back into a pumpkin, so everybody run! They're driven out of the school, so they regroup at Buffy's house where they try and work out what exactly Ghost James wants.
I'm not
He wants forgiveness.
Giles says she's right, but forgiveness is impossible because every time James possesses someone, the argument breaks out again, and Buffy is glad because she thinks James should suffer. Then Giles says the most poignant thing on the show so far.
To forgive is an act of compassion, Buffy. It's not done because people deserve it. It's done because they need it.
This is so important because it will ring true so many times in this series. But Buffy is still so stung by Angel, she takes her rage out on James and storms off, but has a change of heart when she finds a poster in her pocket. When she approaches the school again, Buffy is left inside, and did Ghost James repair the door while she was gone? Because Buffy kicked the shit into it on the way out. Willow realizes that Buffy is gone and they all head to the school, but Giles says that she should be safe as long as no man goes inside to fulfill James's role. Angel, did you not hear what I just said? He mocks her as Buffy starts reciting James's side of the argument, but when he moves closer to her, he becomes Grace in the scenario. The argument kicks off and it flashes back and forth between them and the real James and Grace. They both pull out a gun and Buffy shoots Angel, and with no one to interfere this time, she heads to the music room to finish the scene. But before she can go through with it, Angel stops her, forgiving her, and by extension James, and they kiss. With James's spirit appeased, they both snap out of it, and Angel runs off disgusted. Giles comforts Buffy in the aftermath, while Angel scrubs the skank off himself. The episode ends with Spike revealing that he's all better now. I'm confused. Either this is the most forgettable episode in the whole show, or due to the subject matter, it was not released on the VHS box sets. Because when I rewatched the show during the first lockdown, I had zero recollection of this episode at all. Even with some of the more mundane episodes, I remembered at least something from it, but this was completely unknown to me. Besides that, I'm in two minds about this episode, because on one hand, it was interesting to see the same argument acted out by 4 different sets of people, and on the other, I'm not a fan of over-dramatic romances, and the 2 continuity errors really bug me. All that aside, the theme of forgiveness was handled in such a meaningful way, and that quote from Giles really resonates with me. It's really important for the show also, as forgiveness will play a major part in early season 3 especially. There were a couple of scenes with Spike, Drusilla and Angel which felt pretty fillerific to me, as Angel could have just shown up at the school at the end without the preceding scenes because he's just stalking Buffy anyway. We have 3 more deaths for our list, all human. Mrs. Frank, who was shot by George the janitor, Grace Newman, who was shot by James, and James himself, who ended his own life. That brings our running total to 21 humans, who are quickly catching up to the vampires, 4 transformations, 28 vampires, 1 zombie, 1 mummy, 4 demons, and 1 monster. So there you have it. That was I Only Have Eyes for You. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and don't let the vampires bite.